You are listening to Just a Touch of J's vocals, baby. And God just dropped the dime on me. Yes, baby. God just dropped the dime on me. Oh my gosh. What y'all out there doing? Like I said on the Just a Touch of J podcast, baby. What y'all out there doing? Man, I ain't doing nothing. I'm just in here talking to God. And y'all know, God over here talking to me. Yeah, child, you over here dropping the dime on me. And I love it when he does it, baby. Yeah, so look, I'm in the bathroom. I had just got done eating and everything. I told y'all I've been making Love and V's kitchen every day, baby. Yeah, that's over there where I do my food thing. I've been chilling though, because I told you, God said it's seasons to this thing. You gotta, you know what I'm saying? You gotta do it a certain way because this is Just a Touch of J's vocals, baby. This ain't the podcast. And shout out to y'all out there. Yo, y'all so crazy with the podcast. Yeah, it's like 300-something thousand of y'all out there. Y'all out there wilding. Yeah, I love my babies. And I'm coming to y'all, I promise. I swear I am, because I can't have my babies out here lost. But God said I got to do this Just Touch of J's vocals thing first. So that's what I'm out here doing. So look, let me say about this dime he dropped on me, right? So I got to start. I got to keep it 100. I told you, yo, it's time for my boyfriend thing. 31 years of me dating. 10 boyfriends, 10 different ways. And I told y'all for like 17 episodes last year, some of them I loved, some I didn't. Y'all know about boyfriend number 6. He used to be calling me Mistress Ronnie. Yo, I can't make this stuff up. That's why I be telling him on the Just a Touch of J podcast, baby. But, it's Just a Touch of J's vocals. And God, he's really just like been talking to me. So God, look at your stuff. Look at that. And one of them had just hit me up. Now, I just told y'all that one was hitting me up telling me how much he loved me. Yeah, in the inbox, child. The devil is a liar. Because they knew that also they had to just say, I love you. And I'd be like, huh? Yeah, no, baby, no. But anyway, I'm sitting up here and God talking to me. I'm talking to God and God, he just dropping a dime on me. God like this. You see that? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, didn't I tell you curiosity kills the cat? I keep telling you that. And I'm like, why this nigga hit me up? And God like, what is it that you're doing? Just like a couple of days. And one was like last week. And I was like, I'm about to do my boyfriend thing. God was like, Ronica, he thought that was okay to hit you up and want something in the morning. Right? And I'm like this. I'm like, yo, you right. Like, I'm sitting there, God, like, Ronica, are you thinking about that? Like, he thought it was cool to do that. And then God was like, because that's what used to be around. You let people do things like that. And God was like this. He dropped a dime on me. I was washing my face. I was in the bathroom. I don't know why he been coming to me while I'm in the bathroom lately. Probably I got, clothes and things like that, like all on my mirror, just, outfits. I told y'all, Just Touch J's fitness is booming, baby. And I've been showing y'all my body. Have y'all seen my abs? Remember last year I kept saying, I know y'all seen them. My legs. But have y'all seen my abs? Yo, this year is all about my body. Like, yo, I got these photos. I've been doing photo shoots and everything for y'all. Like, I'm telling you, this thing is crazy. I'm training people doing all this stuff. Right? So God is just like, Ronica, like he be talking to me. I'm like, what? He like, you know what? You just don't see yourself like everybody else see you. They see you as just a touch of J. And I was like, what? Like, what are you talking about? So I'm in here, right? No lie, can't make this up. I'm telling you. So I'm in there, and he like, yeah, that's why the boyfriend thing came over. Like, oh, she gonna answer for me. And I was like, and he's like, yeah, like, she gonna answer for me. He was like, you gotta pay attention. Think about it. And I'm like, what? He like the one with the tattoo. He probably be like, yo, did you know just a touch of J? I used to mess with her like my name is on her arm. And I'm like, this, what? God, like, no, God, like, nah, I'm trying to drop a dime on you. You don't see yourself the way that other people see you. And I was like, what? Like, what? God was like, Veronica, listen to yourself. I'm telling you, I can't make this up. This is the truth. Okay? He was like, yo, listen to yourself. So I started listening to myself, whatever, like the last thing I dropped out there. I'm like, yeah, And then he said, no, listen to yourself like somebody else would listen to you. You need to start seeing yourself as just a touch of J, and then you'll understand why they act the way that they act. And I was like, damn, God. Oh, my God. I got to record this. Because he already told me earlier. He's like, yeah, you probably going to be dropping a dime on him later. He's like, I want you to make sure that you really talk to him. Like that. And I was like, okay. So I was like, oh my gosh. I looked at my phone, right, y'all? Look, I'm telling you, I swear this is true. Okay. And I was like, damn, I don't got no charge. It's at like 11%. I'm like, I don't feel like hooking up everything. I just want to record it like this real quick. Right. And then I want to go record it. And all the other ones that I recorded, they went away. And I was like, did this nigga really just try to distract me? I mean, my phone started ringing and I was getting I'm sorry. It wasn't ringing. It was like making noises. And I'm like, what's that? And God was like, that's your distraction. I told you this boyfriend thing is the truth. And the truth should set you free, baby. That's what the Bible said. God said, I got to set y'all free. So I'm like, damn. He was like, it's the truth. You just going to be telling the truth. Whatever I tell you to say. He was like, so you don't have to understand, baby. People don't see you like you see yourself. You just see yourself as a child of the King. Yeah, and I was like, yo, you so right. Like, I'm just out here just living my life, just chilling, I'm saying? I ain't making no noise, I'm saying? Say all that. He was like, I'm like, well, what? So anyway, I charged the phone a little bit. I'm like, okay, continue talking to me. He's like, that's your problem that you got with your boyfriend thing. I'm like, oh, okay, here we go. Because he been talking to me about it. Because, I told you, tell me take time off. I take time off. But he said, it's time. This thing going on for a while. And this year I'm talking to y'all about them. Okay? I told you who they was last year. I introduced you to them. And now I'm out here doing this. And God like, yo, this thing is major. It's the truth. It's going to set them free. Because they out here thinking they can do this stuff to you. Because you've been letting them do it to you. And I'm like, damn, you right. He's like, so they going to have to get just a touch of J. He's like, you're going to have to go out there and drop a dime on them. Tell them, like, you don't see yourself the way that they see you. Yeah, you see yourself as a child of the King. So he told me to tell him, like, yo, I don't be up all hours of the night like that. I do a little bit when I'm working. But I be trying to be in the bed. He said like 8 or 9 o'clock. I'll probably make it like 10, but I'll be asleep. Because I got to get up in the morning. I'm out here winning. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got to do what God tell me to do. Like I hit the gym around a certain time. Like, look, my life is scheduled. I don't have no time to be worrying about you up in this inbox. Yo, tell me you love me and all that other type of stuff and thinking I'm available and want something in the morning. God was like, Veronica, you're just gonna have to talk to him. Yeah. thinking that they could be like, I love you and all that type of stuff. Like, I'm going to just be like, oh, let me turn around. I'm out here winning. Told you, it's my Job season. I'm out here trying to do what God tell me to do so I can keep on getting blessed. Like, what you talking about? I ain't out here making no noise, baby. But I see you. I see you. Yeah, I see you. You should see yourself. Yeah, you should see yourself. Whatever it is y'all out here doing. God was like, I'm like, so what am I supposed to call this? And because we was talking about blind Bartimaeus. I told y'all about the other blind person. You know, on my last Just to Touch a J's vocals, baby. Yeah, I told you about that one. How I was out there blind like the blind dude. Yo, did y'all check that out? How I got my Timberlands on? And how I put that out there for y'all? Go on over to my social media. I just dropped it. It's on... My name is Ronnie. My name is RONI76 on Instagram, baby. Y'all know how I say that on the podcast, the Just Attention Day podcast. Yeah. Go over there and check that thing out. That thing crazy. But you know I got 5 Instagrams. Okay. Check it up in my bios. And I got 5 Facebooks. And I think 2 Twitters. Tumblr. TikTok. Threads. Amazon. Like whatever. What's that one? What's that one they be on? Snapchat. You know, I got all that stuff. Yeah, I do. You know, but look up in the Instagram. Yeah, and check that out. Yeah, I just dropped a dime on y'all. I flipped my Timberland boot around. Yo, that thing's crazy. It's upside down. You got to read the message upside down. Y'all know how I be out here putting it out there in pieces for you, baby. Yeah. Baby, look. Yo, God was like, I really need you to just go in there and talk to him real quick. You got to tell him this. Yeah, you just don't see yourself the way that they see you. Yeah, so, you know, y'all got to check yourself. Yeah. I don't be out here doing all that trickery stuff no more. I ain't out here winning like that. No, I win correctly. I see myself as a child of the King. Yeah, thank you, God. This is what he's telling me. He said, go ahead, make sure you drop this on right here. Let me get my notes out. I was just watching one of my pastors today. Yeah, he was like 3 things to say bye to. Yo, that's what kind of started it, the conversation that me and God was having. Yeah. But listen, what do you need to say goodbye to? He said, what's unhealthy? And then y'all out there going through that. That's why I be telling on the Just to Touch a J podcast, babe. But this ain't that. This is Just to Touch a J's vocals. No. But yeah. So, what's unhealthy? That's what he said. He was like, look, man, you got to drop a dime on him. Tell him. Yeah. Some connections feed your stress more than your soul. I was like, you right about that. That's exactly what Pastor said. Yeah, he said, if it costs you your peace, it's too expensive. I was like, yeah, you right about that. Yeah. Then he was like, say goodbye to what's unhelpful. And I was like, yeah, you right about that. He hit him with the Hebrews 12:1. Yeah, some things make you slow. That's what he said. You got to start worrying about carrying unnecessary weight. Yeah. That's what he said. Yeah, he said sometimes it don't even be bad for you, but it's just the weight on you. You don't got no time when you out here seeing yourself like a child of the King. Yeah, you don't have no time for that type of stuff. You be like, well, I got a schedule. God said I got, you know what I mean? You been trying to do what God tell you to do because you know him. You been spending time with him. You know the blessing. You be like, shh. And you know you can't get things just from works. You know, God ain't, you can't be out here doing backflips like, yo, and he just be blessing. You know, like, you know what I mean? But many are called and few are chosen. If you accept this call on your life, Yo, you be out here winning. I told y'all how he gave me 2 houses and how my edges came back and everything. Oh, wait till y'all get that. How my edges came back. Yo, oh my God. This been out here. God been out here talking to me, baby. So anyway, the other thing is, look, he said, you got to know a tree by its fruit. Yeah, he was like, you know a tree by its fruit? What that fruit look like? Why would he call you at 1 something in the morning trying to get you through one of the little social media things? Like who does that? The time. Like you was just going to be available, girl. You could have been in some other country or something. Like you out here doing business. I'm like, yeah, He's like, you just don't see yourself the way that other people see you. Ronica, you got to look at it like you just a touch of J. Then he told me, he was like, people be asking you for your autograph and stuff. And I was like, yeah, they do. Like, they be like, can I get a picture with you? And I'll be like, hey, because I don't see myself like that. I just be out here chilling, winning, doing what God tell me to do. But he was like, you got to see yourself the way that they see you, baby. So I was like, dang, you right. Then look, the pastor said, this is the last of the 3. The 3 things. This is what he said. He said, what's unholy? And I was like, yeah, child. Can't nobody win with that. And look, here's the answer right here. Look, this was so crazy. Look, peep game. The example was if you single like dating, right? That's what the pastor said. So I'm like this. I'm like, yeah, God, like look at the notes you wrote down. Are they healthy? Are they healthy? Because you got to let go what's unhealthy. He was like, are they helpful? Because you got to let go what's unhelpful. And he was like, are they holy? You attract what you are, not what you want. Yeah. I was like, yo, he dropping dimes on him. Yeah, you attract what you are, not what you want. Yo, that's why y'all out here messed up in these relationships. And the Love Doctor series, that's out there too. On the Just a Touch of J podcast, baby. Yeah, child. You gotta be careful out here. Y'all be out here in these crazy relationships. You know what I'm saying? Acting crazy. Yo, relationships is supposed to be about love. Y'all both supposed to be like progressing and winning together. Like y'all be out here trying to find them. And they be out here just lost in the wilderness while you be trying to find them. Calling chicks up and stuff, man. Trust me, I know all about that thing. That wasn't nothing me though, y'all. I tell y'all Just Such G podcast, baby. I'm too thorough for that. I ain't calling no female up looking for no man. Ask every one of my boyfriend things, okay? They will tell you like, oh no, she don't do that. I ain't never did it. I told you about what happened with boyfriend number 10 though. When I went over his house and he came downstairs and I was sitting there like, yeah, what's up? When he was up there with somebody, you know what I'm saying? And I told you, I told y'all that on Just Such a Day podcast, baby. Y'all know he the love of my life still. Oh my God, I tell you, I don't know. I'm gonna talk about this man. And the way God been talking to me about him been crazy. Cause I've been like, yeah, he really is. And God be like, see, I tried to tell you, girl. He was different. Yeah, I told y'all that's the one I used to be giving baths to. Yeah, I used to love washing him up. Yeah, God help me. I told y'all, this is Just a Touch of Jay's vocals, baby. But look, God was like, you don't see yourself the way that other people see you. Really, like that was it. It's like they be like, Dad, God healed her, like I used to mess with her. Like, yo, she's really doing this, she's doing that and all this. And I just be chilling. I be letting God lead my life. Dipping and dodging these bullets out here. The enemy be trying to fire at me because he don't want me to tell y'all the truth. So it can set you free. You know what I'm saying? I just been out here just chilling, I'm in my room with all the scriptures, the 100 scriptures. Told y'all God gave me 2 houses. Child, I'm still not even over that. He out here wilding out, because I know I ain't out here doing nothing but what he tell me. Yeah. But he really just was telling me this whole time. He was like, Monica, you just got to see yourself the way that other people see you. And this is what he said, too. This is what I got to end it on. He just dropped a dime on me. Don't forget to tell him this. Yeah. They also see me like how I used to be. Yeah, they don't know this. I know you only see me how I used to be. Yeah, that's why you keep trying to come at me the same way you used to. I told y'all need to check yourself. Yeah, no. I don't do what I used to do, baby. I see myself as a child of the King. Yeah, I'm out here trying to serve God. Yeah, and that's it. That's what he says. So you got to come on here. You just got to tell him now. I'm like, God. I'm like, all right, yo. And he was like, you'll get it once you start listening to yourself. Because I was listening to myself, and I was like, yo, I'm real thorough and wise. God was like, yeah. Yeah, he's like, you don't see yourself as just such a J. You just see yourself as, Jillian Veronica Harris. You see yourself regular. You out here just like, yo, let me go ahead and, network this thing real quick. I ain't out here doing that. I tell you, I ain't out here making no noise. Yeah. I do what I do now. I do things. I be out here doing what it is that I do. I told y'all, that's why I tell y'all the Just a Touch of Shape podcast. Yeah, God been let me drop dimes on y'all just a little bit. I can't move until he tell me to. Like, yeah, I'll be like, okay. He'll be like, pause. Don't do that. I'll be like, okay, look, all right, what's up? Like, yo, he just gave me some more money today. Yo, it's crazy. Like, it's like every day. Like, yo, even yesterday. You're right, guy. He gave me some yesterday, too. Like, it just been like, boom, here, don't worry about that. I'm be like this, like, wow. It's crazy. And y'all got it, like I said, this something else, too. This the end. I'll be closing like 8 times. I got to, though, because it's just G's vocals. Damn. So we had 22 minutes, y'all. But look, I got to tell y'all this. Yeah, because remember, he was like, I didn't tell you this part. This is what God telling me to tell y'all. This is the part right here. Are they helpful? Are they healthy, helpful, holy, right? Remember I told you the dating scenario? Then my pastor was like, and are you? Child. When he had said that, I had to think about it. I was like, yeah, now I am, because y'all know I've been doing that whole Sullivan thing. Like I don't be tossing up no cookies or nothing. Been like almost 4 years thing just brewing. God was like, hold that for your husband. I was like, you know what? He's like, yo, if you hold that for your husband for me, I was like, phew. I told y'all how I used to be addicted to sex. Oh my gosh, y'all gotta get this boyfriend thing. Yeah, 31 years of me dating some boyfriends 10 different ways. Some of them I love, baby. Some of them I did. Like, only if you knew how I just felt just by telling y'all that. Yeah, like, man, okay. And then I had the girlfriend thing too. But God was just, he just been talking to me. And he been letting me know, like, Veronica, you really just don't see yourself the way other people see you. And I was like, Dad, you right. He was like, you just don't. And he was like, that ain't your problem or not like that. He's like, but you just don't see him like that. You just see yourself as regular chill. You out here doing what it is that you do. You out here winning. Like, you ain't out here doing nothing. You get right to your boyfriend thing. And people going crazy. All of the boyfriend things came back but one. Yo, Like all year long. Like every time I turn around, boom. God be like, distraction. I remember when they used to all come back. I would hit my mom up. True story. And then I gotta go, y'all. I would hit my mom. I'd be like, Mom. And she'd be like, what, Veronica? She called me just like that. And I'd be like, man, all my distractions back. She'd be like, the boyfriends? But they wasn't the boyfriends then. She was like, this one, this one, that one, this one, that one. And there was like 8 of them at the time. Because 9 and 10, they didn't exist. I'm like, yeah, man, I'm just trying to get my life together. Like, this nigga done call me and hit me up. And it'd be crazy because, yo, God be letting it happen all around the same time. Like, God will show them to me. Yo, I'm not making this up. God will show them to me. And then I'll be like, man, what? Like, no, he's not coming. And then he'll come over to my page or something. And I'll be like, what? And God be like, see, I told you. I told you. And I'll just be like, dang, man, like, why you had to come over to the page? The one that I can see you on like TikTok, they be doing nut stuff sometimes. And God be like, I'm trying to tell you that, yo, it just, you don't see yourself the way that other people see you. You know, they don't know that. This is what God said. And I was like, this is what I got to end it on. He was like, listen. You like, why they coming over and all this? God, like they might just came over to check on you or something. You know what I'm saying? Don't get it twisted. The enemy be trying to use it. He was like, but you know, sometimes people just come over like, okay, you over here doing good, you know, right? He's like, they just be doing it the same way they used to because they don't see you for who you are. And I was like, yo, you just dropped the dog on me, God. I gotta go ahead and talk to him. They don't see me for who I am now. They see me how they left me. Yeah, all messed up. Yeah, they don't really see. Like, I told you, the guy, the blind man, the issue with the blind stuff. I had to clean that up, y'all. I was going to say the one with the issue of blood. That's me, but anyway, you know, I try to clean it up real quick. The blind guy. The blind guy, not blind Bartimaeus, the one I was just talking to y'all about in Mark. Think at chapter 8:28. Remember? Okay. Let me break this down. There's a couple blind things going on in the Bible. Yeah, one was blind from birth and one wasn't. The 2 guys I was talking about the last time. Yeah, blind Bartimaeus, but we talking about Mark 8. Yeah, he was like, he came over. Let me read it to you real quick so I can close for like the 10th time. Right? Yeah, Mark. Matthew, Mark, Luke, John. That's how I remember the Bible, y'all. My brother taught me. That's that when we was young. Hold on. Let me make sure I don't cut off on y'all with this time. Mark 8. Was it Mark 8? Yeah. What did I tell y'all was? 22? Dropping dimes on y'all. I thought I had this thing highlighted. I did. And look, okay, here we go. And they came to Bethsaida, right? And some people, right? Some people brought a blind man and begged Jesus to touch him, right? He took the blind man by the hand and led him outside the village. Okay? Led him outside the village, y'all. Okay? When he had spit on the man's eyes and put his hands on him. And Jesus asked, do you see anything? Child, he looked up and said, I see people. They look like trees walking around. Oh my gosh. Once more, Jesus put his hands on the man's eyes. Then his eyes were open. My God. His sight was restored. And he saw everything clearly. And Jesus sent him home saying, don't even go into the village. Yeah, that's what God was telling me. He was like, they don't see you blind. Like the man. That's how I was. I was so blind, and then God put his hands on me and he touched me. And he was like, man, I don't even go over there no more. Don't even mess with them. I don't care who it is. Even if it's my children, he tell me don't mess with them. I don't mess with them. Because I know that God knows what's going on. God might be trying to do other things in other people's lives. I can't mess with that. He healed me. Yeah, he healed me. But like, I was that blind. He had to lay hands on me. He had to really get my eyesight together. That's what when he spit in his eyes, he was trying to get his eyesight together. Like, yo, do you see anything? And he like, yeah, I see men. I see people, yo, walking around, but they like trees walking around. He couldn't even see correctly. That's how distorted he was. And God was like, they coming back over like that because they don't understand that you are really a child of the King. They don't see you correctly. It's like, that's why you got to do this boyfriend thing. 31 years be dating, 10 boyfriends, 7 different wives, baby. Told y'all something I did. Child, then when I did that whole kind of slight cheating thing, really wasn't cheating, but because we was done. But yeah, I told y'all that was about boyfriend number 8, the one that always be trying to hate me. Child, I don't know, hurt me. Yeah, child, he did some stuff, child. But I was out here loving him, baby. That's why it's called my boyfriend thing. But yeah, pay attention, y'all, to this. I'm ending it. I promise. Sometimes people just don't see you the way that you see yourself. And sometimes, you be the one to be messed up. Because I used to be out there messed up too. Remember he said, are they healthy? Are they helpful? Are they holy? Then he was like, are you? Yeah, and I wasn't really helpful sometimes, and I really wasn't holy sometimes, and I wasn't like all that. Yeah, like I am now. So they kind of just it's intriguing in a sense, So I understand why they be coming over, but they my distractions. I can't mess around with them. I told y'all when my mom used to be like, they back. And I'll be like, yeah, and she'd be like, that's just you walking in your purpose. That's all. They always come around like that. They bet, which one is it? You know what I'm saying? I'll be like, this one, and this one. She'll be like, dang, 5 this time. And we would have these conversations, and I'll be like, yeah, y'all hit me up in 2 days. She'd be like, just keep focusing on what you focusing on. And it was always when I was winning. Y'all like how I did that Megan Thee Stallion? Child, Megan Thee Stallion, child. That thing is bigger in Texas. I got my body on that. I'm so sorry. Look, I be giving me these songs sometimes. You know what I'm saying? And you be like, that working just like that. Then I do it. Yo, this would be so crazy. And then I promise I'm going. Because I'm just rambling on and stuff. But, you get the point. You know what I mean? How are you seeing yourself? You know what I mean? Are you the person that you asking for? And I trying to tell you my boyfriend thing. Yo, this thing about to be fire. Y'all better be paying attention to it. Because whatever God tell me to say, I got to say it, respectively, But yeah, he was like, you got to do this because this is what you got to do. You got to tell the truth. The truth sets people free. And this is what you need to do. And I'm like, I don't even know why, but okay. This is my boyfriend thing. 31 years of me dating. 10 boyfriends, 10 different ways. And this is just a touch of Jesus' vocals, baby. I tell y'all, you can't make nobody believe God. Nah, man, you can't make nobody believe God. You can't. Yeah, you can't make nobody believe God. Nope. You can talk to him. You can be like, look, this is me. This is what I'm doing. Like, look how God blessing me. Like how I come over here and I be talking to y'all. Yeah, but, nope. Yeah, you can't. I can't make my boyfriend things believe nothing. You know what I'm saying? I told y'all how I used to be putting God above him and stuff. Oh, man, I was out here messed up. I'm trying to tell you something. Yeah, but I see myself holy now, baby. Yeah. Child of King, child of God. Yeah. And sometimes y'all gotta see yourself like that. For those of y'all out there, y'all be seeing yourself. This is what God said. Don't forget to tell him how you used to see yourself so messed up. Yeah, I used to see myself messed up. Like, dang, yo, I used to be so down on myself. Some of the boyfriend things, they saw that and they ran with it. That's why boyfriend number 9, he the one that was like, yo, yo. He used to be sewing me up because he seen me broken. Yeah, I was letting these boyfriend things out here break me and stuff. Like, that's how lost I was. Thank you, Lord, for saving me. Yeah, man, I was letting them break me down and stuff. Like, yo, why they out here throwing me like that? Like, what happened? That's when you lose control. Yeah, when you out here, you don't be doing what God tell you to do. You be doing what you had to do. And see, the enemy could step in. Yeah, and I remember I told y'all he had the blind man all messed up. And Jesus had to come to him again. Lord, let me go back real quick so I can end this daggone thing. Once more in 25, check it out, Mark 8:22, NIV version. Once more, Jesus put his hands on the man's eyes. Then his eyes were open. His sight was restored. And he saw everything clearly. Jesus sent them home saying, don't even go to the village. Yeah, like, don't even, he was so thorough and wise, like, yo, spitting the thing, trying to clean it out, like, look, man, do you see anything? He like, yeah, I see these men out here, they out here like trees walking around. That's how I used to see them, like trees walking around. So y'all go over to Instagram and check that out so you can see my Timberland boots, they trees. That's what we call them up north. Yeah, see how I flipped that whole thing. You see if you could catch it. And shout out to Clips. Yeah, I put them on Just a Touch of J's radio. So check that out. And you'll hear the music and stuff with it. I got Just a Touch of J's radio where I'll be DJing. So if you go on my page, I told y'all on the podcast, if you go on my page, you'll get to see, it on my page. Yes, it'll be like, you got to play the first one. They go from left to right and going down, and then you could play them backwards, and they play like music and songs and stuff. I'll be like DJing in the mix of it. So it makes sense. It like tells a story. Wait till y'all get the Just a Touch of J story. Oh my God. God gave it to me the other day. He was like, don't forget to tell him. I'm like, can I tell him? Because I always got to ask, because when he tells it to me, then I'll be like, okay, that's confirmation. But anyway, okay, the guy, right? This is the major part. He saw everything clearly. Yeah, that's why I don't see myself the way that other people see me. A lot of people I was around, they still walk around like trees. You understand what I'm saying? They all lost. That's why God like, watch yourself. Be easy. The enemy is trying to use them because they out here all messed up, all off. Yeah, so I don't see myself the way that y'all see me. Yeah, but shout out to y'all who out there, listening. Y'all love me, but God, he dropped a dime on me. It was like 4 different things. And I was just like, damn, I wasn't that person. I was unhealthy at times. I didn't have myself straight. But now I'm straight. I'm out here winning. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, sometimes people don't see me like that. And y'all got to know that too. For whoever this is for, sometimes people just might not see you like you see yourself. Especially when you give yourself to Christ. Yeah, they don't see that. They don't get that. They don't understand that because they out here seeing men like trees walking around. All right, so look, I'm going to skate on back on over here. So I tell them on the podcast. To the left, to do what it is that I do. Yeah. podcast, baby. That's how I tell them on the Just a Touch of J podcast. But like I was about to say, this ain't the podcast. No, this ain't the podcast. Yeah, baby. This is Just a Touch of J's vocals, baby. Look. And you can't make nobody believe God. But you could Google. Look, I tell you all the time. I told the young boy he was trying to hit on me. Told you these young boys been out here trying to hit on me too, because the enemy know that's how I got my boyfriend thing. 31 years we dating, baby. Tell boyfriend set it for ways, he know it. I got 30 for them youngins. Yo, he been out here sending the men at me and everything. When that boy I told y'all the other day was like this, who out here taking care of you? You know, the enemy, he always give you what you need. Dangling in your face and stuff, like, you know, what you want. You know, like, you know, he out here, he trying to get me with these boyfriend things. Trying to even introduce new ones. And I was like, this, no, I'm chilling. I'm saving myself for my husband, baby. Yeah, I see myself differently. Yeah, and I be trying to just show y'all. Yeah, that's why you could Google Just a Touch of J. Yeah, like, look at what God doing in my life. But like I said, I promise you, I'm ending this. You can't make nobody believe God. You hear me? Like, yo, if I ain't learned nothing in this, you can't make nobody believe God. Man, you go on there, you can Google Just a Touch of J, though. You could Google Just a Touch of J, Just a Touch of J's Fitness, Just a Touch of J's Fitness app, Just a Touch of J's mobile app. Yeah. Ask Just a Touch of J, the Detached Podcast Network. This is my boyfriend thing. Yo. Yeah, like, you could Google, Just a Touch of J's, I heard God say, Just a Touch of J's undies. Yeah, all you need is just a touch of the J. You know, Making Love in V's Kitchen. Yo, yeah, Just a Touch of J, what'd I say? Vocals, scriptures, quotes. You could go, you could really handle all that real quick. Yeah, it's a lot of stuff. These podcast topics. Yo, you could do all of that. You could see what God did in my life. That's all. That's all I'm out here trying to do is just show you how thorough and wise he is. Yeah. So you can Google. Yeah, man, you could Google Just a Touch of J. Seriously. Just a touch of J.